And welcome to another episode of the Consistent Performance Podcast. Today, it's going to be about how you can truly master your sleep and also hit 80 and even 90 Aura scores. So, on the Aura ring, if you use that, how you can master the scores you're getting there as well. So, if you're listening to this, you're an entrepreneur, online entrepreneur, digital entrepreneur, agency owner, or service provider. You might have heard about the Oura Ring and how this is a tool to help you master your sleep. And if you haven't heard about this yet, you might still be interested in getting better sleep. Why? Because if you're not able to sleep well consistently, there's so many studies out there, great books also, who show you that if you don't sleep well, your whole decision making, your focus, your energy, your productivity will be affected on the next day. You will take longer, you will need more time, and then you don't have time for anything else. You feel more stressed, and also the quality of your work is much worse. Okay, so that's why it's super important to make sure that your sleep is on track. Just been recently checking my scores here on the Aura Ring. I have it here, and I actually don't check my scores a lot anymore because I know what to do to get good sleep. But if I just check some of these scores right here, a lot of them are in the 80s. Some of them are in the 90s. Optimal 87 and 89 here, most recent one. So I've really made this a habit to get really good scores there on the Aura Ring. Of course, everybody has like a day or so where it's out of order, right? But in general, they're really high, consistently 80s and even 90s. So the question is, how can you master your sleep and achieve that as well? Couple of clients actually recently had also similar wins where they said, "Oh, sleep has been the best and most consistent it has ever been." And so I really thought about what are the key elements that you need to implement. And the first element that really comes to mind is you got to make sure that your sleep is as consistent as it gets. And you ask me, Kilian, what do you mean as consistent as it gets? Now, we're talking especially about the sleep schedule and the sleep timing. So a lot of people, they have variations in their sleep timing, right? On one day they go to bed at that time, another day they go to bed much later or much earlier, and then they wake up much later or much earlier. These variations are not very good for your rhythm, for your circadian rhythm, which is basically the biological clock, the release of hormones and all these things within you. So to really master that and to get really good scores in your Oura Ring, the best is if you have a truly consistent bedtime. And this is different for different people, right? So some people, they even can go to bed at 9 p.m. And I've tried this, and I'm do that still regularly, actually, going to bed quite early and then waking up very early and then get a lot of deep sleep. And this is the best bedtime for them. Other people, they found their sweet spot around 10 p.m. and then waking up around 8, 7, 6 or 7, and 10 p.m., 6 or 7. Then you have between 8 to 9 hours of window, and then you can still wake up naturally before that. That's a little trick I want to give you in any case. It's like, think about this. Try to protect the window of 9 hours in your sleep if you can. So that would mean going to bed at the latest at 10. So being able to fall asleep at 10, going to bed a little bit earlier, and then you target, for example, 9 hours, which would mean you wake up at 7, and you can wake up naturally then. Usually when you go to bed at 10, waking up at 7, around 7 is naturally, because you don't sleep much longer than this. If you tend to sleep in even more, there might be an issue with the quality of your bed, that you don't really get enough recovery, but more on that in a second. So that's for the duration, targeting 9 hours. Of course, you need to make sure you go to bed early, otherwise it gets too late if you want to have that window. However, on some days you might just naturally wake up earlier. Just actually yesterday, I woke up naturally at like 6, no alarm, nothing, just woke up naturally because my body got used to that when I give myself this time for recovery. And so this is for the duration, finding a spot that works for you, but then really protecting it. So now a lot of people, they know about this, but they're like, okay, they don't make it. They're not really able to protect it. And a lot of the reason for this is stress at work, working late in the evening, then just wanting to relax and do something fun, and then just get super late. Plus distractions, phone, social media, YouTube, these types of things, and then like wasting a lot of time there in the evening. That's a whole different topic, how to protect your attention and remove distractions, remove your phone, have a good evening routine, and so forth. Because that's the second element. To be able to have awesome sleep, it's not only about the time and the duration of your sleep schedule, it's also how you go into the sleep. And so that is the stress you have, is your heart super elevated, and so on. And I can show you something. I mean, you can see that quite well in your readiness data actually. If you had if you have a good start of your sleep, I can show this to you what happens when your sleep is quite stable. So check this one out here, for example. This was a 90 score in readiness. And what happens here in the heart rate is, the heart rate is, as you can see, quite straight, quite stable, right? There is not like crazy fluctuations in there. And that shows that I basically, when I went to sleep, my heart rate was not that high. I was relaxed and I could wind down. And these low heart rate, no low resting heart rate results in usually a higher readiness score. And that contributes to your whole scores in general. Same thing when you now, let me find something where I did a mistake maybe, and I did like, yeah, here that's a good sign. Now the readiness score is still good. Let me find a bad readiness score. Let me scroll around a bit. Yeah, this one maybe. No, that's a mistake. Yeah, this one could be something. So if you check this one out here, what happened here? You see basically at the beginning of the night, at between 10 and 12, the heart rate is more elevated, right? And then it reaches its lowest point at like 2. And so this is usually a sign that you had still some stress before going to bed. Or another thing is you ate quite late and the digestion was still active. So for this, the Oura ring is quite good to actually see how these patterns have developed. But on the other hand, of course, you still need to implement the good habits to actually make sure you don't eat late and you also wind down and recover and don't have stress in the evening. Okay, so that's the second thing. Reducing stress, having good evening routine, making sure you do relaxing activities, making sure you have a good wind down ritual, which you do at the end of your work, and then you do something that is scheduled in, like you go to the gym, or you do some other activity, like you go on a date night with your partner, or you meet some friends, or you go to a class or something, and then you have a hard cut off from work. Much easier than if you just sit at home all day and then you just keep working, keep doing stuff. Always triggers you, always keeps you in work mode, and that's not usually that doesn't get you tired, right? That usually keeps your mind active. And the third thing is that your nutrition needs to be on track, and very importantly, if you don't eat too late, it will affect your sleep score also tremendously. So we've seen that just as I showed you in the chart, if you eat too much food and also the wrong type of food in the evening, and too close to bedtime, it will affect your sleep score as well. So these are the main ones. And then the other things I want to give you, we have a more advanced sleep training on this. You can let me know, a comment, or send me a message if you're interested in this. But basically the other elements are your bedroom setup. For example, if you're not feeling comfortable in your mattress, you're not in a good sleeping position, plus your bedroom is like too hot, noises, light, all of these things, then also your sleep quality is not as good as it can be. Okay. So the other thing then, of course, is that also how is your blood sugar behaving throughout the day? That can also impact when you get tired and so forth. There's some more advanced features, but the combination of sleep schedule, stress, evening routine, nutrition, plus the actual total setup of your bed, plus the environment. These are the most important factors when it comes to making sure that your sleep is on track. Okay. On top of that, there is some little supplements like magnesium and so on, but too many people, they just jump to this and think it fixes your sleep, or take melatonin or something like that. But the issue is actually another one. The issue is your bad habits, that you have also blue light in your face and these types of things. So that's what you want to remove. And then long term, if you implement good habits in that field, you will be able to see good scores in your readiness in your sleep score as well. And you just feel better in the morning when you wake up. And then the good thing is then you will be more productive, more energetic. You will also enjoy your day more. You feel less stressed. and everything what you do in your business will also feel easier. And that's the most important thing. Okay. Guys, hope that helped you out. If you have any question on how you can master your own sleep, send me a message on Facebook, or if you want me to audit how you have your sleep scores right now, what's going on with your sleep scores, or just get more personalized tips how you can master your own sleep so you can show up the best way possible every day, then let's jump on a call together, free consultation for you guys at kilianmarkert.com, and you can book it in there, and then we can talk about how we make this happen for you. That being said, hope to see you guys in the next episode and talk to you soon.